Hi there, welcome to the video series of C Sharp tutorial. In this video, we will learn some of the basics of the C Sharp and we will learn about the comments, variables and data types in the C Sharp. Before we start the video, I would like to request you to watch the video completely and follow along with me to have better understanding. So let's get started. C Sharp is a strongly typed language. Once you declare type to any variable, then the type cannot be changed. So let's take an example. If I am declaring any of the variable as integer, then I cannot store the float value in it. It will throw the error. These curly braces denotes the beginning and ending of the code block. So blank spaces are ignored. It means you can give multiple blank statement between two statement, or you can give multiple spaces between two variables. Every time the multiple spaces will be ignored. All the statements in the C# are terminated using semicolon. So let's learn about the comment. In C# also we use two ways to comment. One is single line comment and other is multi-line comment. We use two forward slash for the single line comment, and the multi-line comment starts with forward slash star and ends with star forward slash. So let's see how does that look. So let's have a single line of statement. So this is a statement and we can comment it using two forward slashes. The comments are also ignored in the C#. If I have multiple lines to comment, then we can use forward slash star to start the comment and star forward slash to end the comment. So this is how single line comment and multi-line comment are written. So the variables. Variables are nothing but the container for the data. So we can assume a container and an object. If a container is not suitable, then we cannot fit the object to that container. Similarly is the case with the variables. The variables should be suitable to store the data. That's why we have to declare data type for the variable. So we can declare data type in multiple ways. We can declare first, then initialize, or we can declare and initialize at the same time. So we can declare and then initialize. We can declare in multiple lines and we can initialize in multiple lines. We can declare multiple variables in the same line, and also we can initialize multiple variables in the same line. So this is how we can declare and initialize variables. So we often come across a situation where we have to give a constant variable whose value should not change across the application. So in that case we use const keyword. So whenever we use const keyword, the value for that variable will not change. So let's create the integer constant abc whose value is 9. Now we cannot change the value for this variable. So if we try to change the value for this variable, then it will throw us error. And one thing is to be noted here is we cannot declare constant variable without assigning. So if we just declare the constant variable and if we don't assign the value, then also it will throw us error. So there are some of the rules for declaring the variables. The rules are: variables should contain letter, digits and underscore. It should not contain the special characters. So I can declare variables using letter, number and underscore. Other is variable must begin with letter or underscore. So whatever the variable name we declare, it should always start with either variable or underscore, and it should not contain any special characters or white space. And the variable names are case sensitive. So if we are declaring variable called abc and abc, both are different. Reserved word cannot be used for the variable name. So we cannot use reserved words like int read only. So read only is reserved variable. So we cannot use them as the variable name. So these are the reserved variables. Most of them we will come across our tutorial in the upcoming videos. Now coming to data type in C#. We have three different data types. One is value data types, other is pointer data types and other is reference data type. So we will be learning in detail about the pointer and reference data type in the upcoming videos. For this video, we will learn about the value data types. So here we have different data types and their corresponding description. So we can see byte, it is also known as unsigned byte, and the size required is 8 bit, and byte is used as the .NET type. Its minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 255. So why it is necessary to know about the minimum and maximum value? Because we cannot store value less than minimum value and we cannot store value more than maximum value for that particular data type. So here we can see we have float, double and decimal. 6 to 9 shows the precision for the float, 15 to 17 is the precision for double, and 28 to 29 is the precision for decimal. So let's have some hands-on practice on it. So let's learn about byte first. So I have declared b variable for byte data type and assigned it with 0. So we can see on hover it is 8-bit unsigned integer and the .NET type is byte. So if we press F12 or control left click, we will be navigated to its declaration. So we can see the minimum value for this, the maximum value for this, and let's try to store some negative value because its minimum value is 0. So if we try to store the value less than this, then it will throw us error. Similarly, let's look for integer. So if we navigate to its definition, we can see the minimum value, the maximum value, and .NET type is int32. Similarly is the case with uint. Here the .NET type is uint32 and it occupies 32-bit memory. So if we navigate to it, we can see the minimum value and the maximum value for this. For bool, we can see the .NET type is boolean and we don't have the minimum value and the maximum value for this because it is not a numeric type. Similarly is for char, we can see char is the .NET type and it has the minimum value and the maximum value as well. So here we should learn a bit more about the float, double and decimal. So for float, to assign any value, we have to give f as the suffix so that the decimal number will be treated as float. If you don't give f, it will be treated as double. For double, we have to use d, or even if we don't use anything, it will be treated as double. For decimal, we have to use m. So for float, we can either use small f or capital F. For double, we can use small d or capital D. For decimal, we can use m or capital M. So we can use these suffixes to denote its type. So we have one way to declare any of the type. So we can use var to declare any of the variable. So if we are declaring variable for double and let's assign 9.7, so we can see its type is double. If we are adding m, so if we see type, it is decimal. If we are using f, we can see the type is float. So this is how f, d and m are used to define their types. Now let's see about the precisions. If I use 1 by 3, it will be a recurring number. So we will be getting recurring number 0.3333 and so on. So let's skip for all. So here we are casting to the corresponding data type. Here I am dividing 1 by 3 and converting it to the float. Here I am dividing 1 by 3 and converting to double. Here I am dividing 1 by 3 and converting to decimal. So let's print the values now and let's run. So we can see 7 precision for the float, 15 precision for the double and 28 precision for the decimal. So you can check all these by your own and just go through all the data types and the corresponding .NET type and look for their minimum value and the maximum values and try everything by your own. So that is it for the video, guys. In the next video we will learn more about the namespaces. Hope you like the video. If you have any doubt, please do let me know in the comment section and do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.